continuing that for 2012. It's interesting how Britain is always so good at the sitting down sports, because the sailors are in there as well with great success.
Start lineup there as we move down to the start for the final of the women's Coxless pair. Great Britain in lane number 1. A new combination here, Monica Relph and Jacqui Round, previously in the under-23s. There's Great Britain in lane number 1. We have Russia. We'll be sitting alongside them in lane number 2. Zhukova, Podvayskina in lane number 2. Zhukova was 8th in this event at the under-23. Olivia Whitlam and Louisa Reeve, Great Britain's main boat, in lane number 3. 6th at the Olympic Games last year. Italy in lane 4. And France, Lenepov and Deschamps in lane number 5. So it's a 5-boat final here. So the crews now get ready and come under starters orders. You can just see the breeze coming from right to left. The crew's going off the start into a head breeze. Just another focus really for the first 10 strokes of the race.
Great Britain 2. Stop. Russia. Great Britain 1.
Louisa Reeve and Olivia Whitlam are the experienced athletes in this event. And again, they should be favourites for this.
Only 5 boats in this final of the women's Coxless pair. Great Britain have 2 of them in lane number 1, Monica Relph and Jacqui Round, and Great Britain 1 in lane number 3, Olivia Whitlam and Louisa Reeve. We're looking there at Italy, Molina and Mascara in lane number 4. Look at them really just powering it off there, whipping it along as you have to get these boats up and into your race speed. A little bit of steering there from Italy in lane number 4 as we now come alongside, and we're just seeing the opening 100, 150 meters. Great Britain starting to come into a very, very strong rhythm. Olivia Whitlam and Louisa Reeve, 6th at the Olympic Games in this event last year.
They were a last-minute addition to the the British Olympic team. They qualified in the last qualifying slot at the Olympic qualifying regatta in Banyoles here, and they did a fantastically good job. And then when they having qualified as the last crew in, they then made the final and came 6th. So in this event, we've got some very good experience there. Sitting in the stroke seat there a little bit, Olivia Whitlam is just leaning away from her rigger as she takes the stroke. She just pulls away from her rigger. See her just moving out a little bit there, taking the stroke.
So Olivia Whitlam from Agecroft Rowing Club, and Louisa Reeve, 25 years of age, from Leander Club, home of Redgrave and Pinsent. Starting now to be pushed on hard by Russia in lane number 2. They had a good half-length lead as they came through the 250 meters. But into this second 500, when the crews really start to move hard, find their rhythm, Great Britain are under pressure. British crew now down to about 3 or 4 feet lead as they go through the 500 meters. Russia pushing on hard and have taken it on from the British crew. The race really now starting to develop hard. Unlikely for Great Britain. They would have thought they would have had a better move in that first 5 to get out strong if you compare the times from the race they had for lanes yesterday.
Well, the ratings are the same. It's a very young pair, young new pair here from Russia, under 23s. And they are showing some very good push in the middle of this race. But the British have responded to that. They've responded. They've come up to 35 strokes a minute, and they're just beginning to push away again. So that was a good response. They spotted it, and they pushed away again well. Louisa Reeve was in the Olympic 8 and in the pair last year. She doubled up. Very talented athlete.
Very much what they want, a good race in the middle 1,000 here. The opening regatta of any World Cup in series is all about testing the level of your winter training, the endurance, how much have you done as a benchmark across your peers, and then how much have you got to step on as we head out towards Munich in about 3 weeks' time, move on to Lucerne, and the World Championships are in August in Poznan. Race continuing to develop between Russia in lane number 2 and Great Britain's Olivia Whitlam and Louisa Reeve in lane number 3 as they come towards the halfway mark. Both of these boats now stretching their lead out. But this is an incredible race here from the British crew. It's nip and tuck as they go through the 1,000 meters. Again, though, Russia just getting it as they did at the 500-meter mark. And we're looking there at Great Britain 2 coming through in 5th position. There are only 5 boats in this final.
Great Britain's going to have to respond here to that Russian challenge, because the Russian pair looks very, very comfortable, very easy. They've got good, long, easy stroke. They're just about 1 stroke a minute lower than the British pair, but the British pair do respond well. The Russians push, and the British then just ease off that and push back again. So it's a very much a sort of nip and tuck between these 2 boats.
Zhukova, Podvayskina in Russian boat there. Lane number 2 doesn't look particularly comfortable, but when we step out of it, we can see the speed of the boat just moving on.
Then also leaning away. You see how she's leaning away at the end of the stroke there, and that means there's the pressure's coming off the blade.
Great Britain now out to half a length, just squeezing it on. They have the advantage, a bit more experience, 6th at the Olympic Games in this lineup compared to Russia, who were 8th in the under-23 event last year.
That nice side shot there of the British pair, you could see very much how well they are loading on to the stroke at the very beginning of the stroke. Just look there now. You can see, particularly at stroke there, how well she catches the beginning of the stroke there, and she's loaded immediately. It's a very quick, well connected first part of the stroke.
Very solid middle 1,000 meters for the British crew of Olivia Whitlam and Louisa Reeve as they go through now in 1st place with 500 meters remaining over Russia and Italy. France are in 4th place, and Monica Relph and Jacqueline Round from Great Britain go through in 5th. The British crew there, you can see right on the left, that's an under-23 crew. You see the difference in experience between Great Britain 1, which are now leading by almost a length over the Russian boats.
Yes, it was a good challenge from Russia in the middle of the race, but again, a very well thought through piece of racing from Great Britain. They're beginning to push it up now. They're up to 36 strokes a minute. They're going really for the line.
The caption you can see on the top left, when the red bar shows the speed, so the red is across whatever crew will be the quicker of the boats moving, and you can see that's reflected in the photo, in the picture through 250 meters. The British crew now have moved out. Look at the stretch, look at the length they've got here. This is what you really want in a crew. Keep your length as you're building out towards the finish, and they're doing that very well indeed.
They've gone up to 35.5 strokes a minute, and they really are pushing for home. Boat's running well. It's dipping a little bit in the stern, but they are just now moving away from the Russian pair.
Miles Forbes-Thomas is the coach of this British crew. Be well satisfied with the race profile, how they didn't panic in the middle 1,000. They were pushed and pressurized by the Russian up to the halfway mark, and the British crew now just stretching out. It's a long, fluid stroke. Russia in lane 2 continue to apply the power, pushing back, but it'll be Great Britain's race. A good start for Olivia Whitlam and Louisa Reeve from Great Britain by just about a length over Russia. And there's the gap between the chasing crews.
Well, very well clear of everybody else. I thought that was a very well calculated race. They did a very good job there. Moved up well in the last 250 meters, and then just opened up from the field.
So a good start. They're going to come back later on in the program. They'll be in the women's 8, and that comes down at 12:30. So good professional start there in this, but this will be the main focus for Great Britain, the women's pair on the sweep side, on the rowing, within the rowing team. This is definitely the strongest boat.
Well, they had to work quite a bit harder than they might have expected in the middle of the race there. But I thought they handled themselves well, knowing that they were trying to conserve a little bit of energy.